When we were little, I wanted to be just like you. I wanted to wear my hair the same way you did every day, and wear my shoes with the same sweet cool as only you can do way. When I was 13, someone called me a faggot because they didn't like the way I dress. Wretched cockroach. Less than dirt. Verbal battering of words. Worse than tying my hands up behind me, and I blindfolded my senses entirely. And I remember I told you this and you just asked for the name. Some idiot who wore a beanie on his head claiming it to be a condom for his big penis. But you told him that wearing a condom on his head only made him a dickhead instead. That was both true and funny. And because you tied his tongue up with the same rope binding my wrists, he never gave one more notice to tell me shit. That was it. I remember when I was 16 and surviving your shadow was harder than fighting the feeling of being left out beneath a wing that flew so far out I was simply never going to win any battle of individuality. Those nights when my face was mistaken for yours, and days when only the light gave appearances more torque behind the entourage that kept so much work in it to make me feel like the invisible man, and when you reached out your hand, below I fell sinking in sand, too swiftly skilled at swallowing whole faces, you pulled me, and would never let me be eaten alive again. And I remember when I was 17, fresh out of a dream in the cold room because windows come pre-opened. I felt the swallow of your leaving. This hollow wound retreated deep in my chest while sucking at the oxygen to derive my cells and torment the stairwell in my mind to fold up upon itself like a cave without an opening. I remember that these were just years stolen by a distance I couldn't cover to heal the hurting in my soul. Through the soaked eyes that filled my fingers, I pretended I was bleeding. What would I without the brother beyond the door to this cold room? What was I to meet besides a road packed with thorns to keep those who walk alone to pain out by cutting deep enough to stain their hearts, to turn around and go home, enthralled in knowing, moving in slow motion. What time can't grow beyond that which knows no emotion, has no feeling or any devotion. My brother has void by choice of the notion that simply I am his brother, because we share blood that circulates through our hearts, and scars that we keep in places hidden, and share the poison of moments that don't belong, closer still than be forgiven to dwell and make living life a living hell to begin with. And even though we walk in strife, still breathing what could belong well to the path, the other won't be missing. And no staying put for him. He'll go distances before the arteries collapse in his legs, and even then he'll stand again with the palms of his hands and turn the world upside down at the same time. And when you do, I want to be there so that when you turn, gravity will return back upon itself and I'll fly like into my dreams, because I know you'd do that for me. You'd let me fly. My brother can turn gravity upside down and shake the snow off a mountain, fountain up the rain that dove from the clouds and make heaven into one big snow globe. My brother can close his eyes and tell me a story in another language, and the message would commune before I would even have a chance to translate. My brother is 5'5", but strides like a giant who plays catch with the sun. He is the brother of honor and love and everything that makes him and I one. You know what I remember? I remember everything you've done for me. From the being there, to the honest reflection of your complexion, to the care carried free. This isn't another piece of ideas strung by a paraphrase noise. It is a capsizing craft with a loyal captain, and the first officer who's willing to die to protect the last man disappearing into the swell, and on this account, that swell be of pounds upon rounds of waves that sunk me deeper in the days I wouldn't have surfaced without you. I replied true, facing up to meet the eyes of my brother, and I say thank you. Thank you for you.